In fact, Jayalalitha's failure to do so has resulted in all this. In fact, if you recall, in the 80s, Shashikala came into Poise Garden only to manage Jayalalitha's household, and then her family members took a vice-like grip on Jayalalitha's psyche and her thinking, that she even got a nephew Sudhakaran as got Jayalalitha to adopt Sudhakaran as her foster son and conduct his wedding in such an extravagant way, which was one of the main reasons why the ADMK lost in '96. So when the Shashikala family had been the cause for ADMK's downfall in one election, Jayalalitha should have seen red, and she should have kept Shashikala under check. But she refused to do that. Even in 2001, 2006, again the Shashikala family had managed to spread its tentacles into the administration, into the party, and Shashikala was promoted into the into the party hierarchy, and then Dinakaran became a MP, and all this sent very wrong signals to the
rank and file of the party. Let's bring in Jnani Sankaran there. Jnani, many say that even when I was covering the election campaign of Ms. Jayalalitha in Trichy, the average person, the average voter felt that the AIDMK leader had a firm grasp over administration. She was a good administrator. Many bureaucrats also say the same thing. Evident also in her choice of officers here in Tamil Nadu, like Police Commissioner J.K. Tripathi, like the Chief Secretary Debendranath Sarangi, many good upright officers. Do you think this was one of the reasons? This was actually this was what caused Shashikala's Waterloo, in a sense, the fact that she was increasingly being seen as a parallel power center, poking her nose into administrative matters, into postings, for instance?
Definitely, because Jayalalitha follows an MGR legacy as far as the bureaucracy goes. Unlike DMK and its Chief Karunanidhi, MGR and Jayalalitha have always been giving a free hand and more dependent on the bureaucracy. And so if somebody messes up with bureaucracy, it could be a huge negative factor for both Jayalalitha and MGR kind of regimes. So definitely Jayalalitha would not have preferred any interference in bureaucratic matters, particularly from the Shashikala family. Shashikala was perhaps personally an asset for Jayalalitha, who was a loner and who needed somebody to run her family and take care of herself. But Shashikala's family had been collectively a liability for Jayalalitha all these 20 years, a political liability.
That's an interesting point you're making. Yes, let me bring in Murari here. Murari, thank you for joining us. Now, with the DMK, we've seen family feud, we've seen family spats. It's like media management, you also probably today need family management. Do you think in Jayalalitha's case as well, the coterie was and something that she is diagnosed pretty early in her third innings here, the coterie actually is a big disadvantage?
See, what we assume is that Jayalalitha was a prisoner of the coterie. That is not the case. She has always been all powerful. It's just she let them run the riot. And you say they are interfering in the administration, and even in the party posting she had a say. All this has been done with the knowledge of Jayalalitha. She was Shashikala as a political power. She was never a threat to Jayalalitha. On other matters, yes, making money, making cutting deals and all that, she might have done that. To say that, to vilify her completely just because she has expelled her from the party, that she was the reason she interfered with the administration, she gave a bad name to Jayalalitha. It makes it as if Jayalalitha was helpless. She could have stopped the rot any time she wanted.
She was not.
And I'm not very exuberant about this. Even the
let me bring in Jnani. Jnani, do you feel that this was actually a Hobson's choice, in a sense that Jayalalitha could have, as Murari says, could have reined in Shashikala earlier and asked her to stick only to matters of the household?
No, the point is Jayalalitha has always described Shashikala as someone very close to her, an important associate who took care of her and her family. Jayalalitha has openly acknowledged it several times. And therefore, our dependence on her on one front is understandable. But at the same time, there is somebody who draws a limit always. How far that kind of a personal associate or a friend can exceed the limits. So this exceeding of the limits must have come in the way. The Shashikala's family has been known to be an extra-constitutional authority, the way Karunanidhi's family had been in power. At least Karunanidhi's family had one advantage. Many of them held public posts and were therefore accountable. But Shashikala's family members did not hold any public posts. There was no fig leaf. So they were not even accountable. So which was a huge embarrassment to Jayalalitha.
All right, power without responsibility. Shekhar, again, is it premature to read too much into this, to throw in the caste factor here? At one level, there was, many say, the Brahmin lobby. and the Tevar lobby, with even officials owing allegiance to either of these lobbies, either identifying themselves as supporters of number 1 or number 2, as Shashikala was called, number 2 in the IDMK. 2 leaves, 2 camps in game.
No, that is too simplistic, because you can't, if it is just the Tevar lobby, then you have Jayalalitha has...
Jayalalitha, remember, did not attend the Tevar Puja in Ramanathapuram, but she went and garlanded the statue in Chennai. There was
because
there were intelligence inputs also.
After Paramakudi, she didn't want to take a chance, which was very, very sensible. But you must remember that whether Shashikala is here, despite Shashikala's presence or her absence, the ADMK has always had a strong following among the Tevars.
Yes, they have a good following with the Tevar, and that's a good vote base for them as well.
Always been a good
Tevars have traditionally supported the ADMK.
Yes, all along. So it's too simplistic to say whether it is a Tevar versus Brahmin thing. I don't think so, because you still have good, powerful Tevar ministers like O. Pannirselvam and Natham Vishwanathan, and there is a likelihood of Nainar Nagendran being inducted to placate any hard feelings that the Tevars may feel because of Shashikala. But without Jayalalitha, Shashikala is nobody, but without Shashikala, Jayalalitha is still somebody.
All right.
Let us not forget that.
Okay. A very important point being made by Shekhar. Murari, let me bring you in here. You heard Radhika Iyer there, who's also reporting from Bangalore about the case. Where does the case stand now? How do you see the case really playing out, the trial really playing out, given that, that's a big major worry for Jayalalitha at this stage? Murari? All right,
yes. One minute. One brilliant point Subramanian Swamy made, which you have missed, is this is a welcome development if Jayalalitha stays the course, because it happened before. It is, I heard it before. This falling out and then coming back together. It's all too familiar. I see no reason why she should. It's going to be a permanent parting of ways between the two. Again, they come together. This is the problem with all. Even those who have been watching Jayalalitha within the party, they don't know where they stand. This is the problem with what happened in '96 after that case and all that. She disowned the Shashikala clan, but eventually Shashikala came back. She stopped wearing jewels and all that. You remember all that. So the same thing is happening now. Now she is sitting, but as far as her position is concerned, she has the huge majority in the assembly, and there is no challenge. The DMK is in the shambles. I see no threat to Shashikala posing a threat to her. Yes, case is a very sticky point, and if this is going to be the time when Shashikala is going to depose, what Shashikala can do is possibly, if she says, yes, these are all assets held in Benami of Jayalalitha, then it will be free in a soup. But the point is,
there is no vicarious liability in criminal law.
Held her in position because she never betrayed Jayalalitha's trust. Even when she was flustered, cases were filed against her. That's one reason. Even Jayalalitha has publicly gone on record that Shashikala never, despite all the harassment, she never betrayed my trust. So if that happens, this is what they say, that if Shashikala has to go to jail, she bring down Jayalalitha along with that, and they are trying to capture the party through Natarajan. Another point is, she says Natarajan has been expelled along with Shashikala. She has all along maintained Natarajan has nothing to do with the ADMK. How do you explain this slip, major slip?
Yeah.
No, that is how do you the expression of Natarajan may be a joke, because Natarajan had already been declared persona non grata in 1996.
But then apparently not. If you go by reports,
no, I think she included Natarajan's name to make sure that Natarajan tomorrow does not claim that I still...
So that there will be no conflicting signals or any ambiguity.
Because Natarajan is capable of claiming that, see, I still have access to Poise Garden, so she is not expelled.
So single window clearance, not just in terms of admissions and colleges.
See, another thing that Jayalalitha has done, despite the risk of Shashikala deposing against her in the Bangalore court, if she is being compelled, if her hand has been forced to take such an important decision, definitely something else has been afoot in the Shashikala camp, which was not favoring Jayalalitha's political future.
Yes, Murari, you wanted to come in, Murari.
Yep. No, the point is that I think the indicator is the asset case is coming to a head, and Shashikala is now going to depose, and maybe, as Radhika rightly said, all the family, coming together to save Shashikala may have sent panic signals, and there are always, people, carrying tales, and phone intercepts and all that stories are being floated, that they were trying to topple they capture the party, Shashikala, MG, Natarajan. I don't buy all that.
No, but you're right, because most people will agree that Jayalalitha is all powerful, and there can be really no threat to her from any quarter. Let me bring in Nyani. Nyani, what will this do for the image of the AIADMK government here? Many say that officers, the biggest, as I said earlier, the biggest plus point of an AIADMK administration is a free hand to officers. Bureaucrats themselves have told me, senior bureaucrats, that Jayalalitha's grasp over the nitty-gritty of administration is mind-boggling. That's the term some of them use. And the way she interacts with officers, the way she's able to understand the requirements of various departments. Do you now see a sort of an image makeover as far as the AIADMK government is concerned now, 6 months into